In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. Let us start with a small experiment. Try to open your button here. See this button. Just open it. Now, without using your main finger, your thumb, try to close this. Wherever you are, try it. Try to tie it again without using this. Try it. Have you managed? Of course not. I didn't manage. I can't do it. You see, it is not possible. I have to use this. I have been using this for all my life, everywhere. Just now when I was writing, I was using. When I hold something, I use this. Everywhere during the day, probably 1,000 times, I use my thumb. But I never thought that I have such a great tool in my life to thank God for having thumb. Have you seen some of elbows? Sorry, have you seen some of albinos who are on the, when there is a lot of light, they look like this? You know why? Because the eyelashes are not black. So they have to close their eyes to create a filter for the light to enter to your eyes with measures. Have you thought about the blackness of your eyelashes, which acts like a filter to prevent light to enter to your eyes? Have you thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the blackness of your eyelashes? There are millions of such mercies that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed upon all of us. But we never even thought about them, let alone thanking God for having them. Every day, 26,000 times we breathe out and in. Just imagine when you breathe in, this breath doesn't come out. So for each breathing, you need to thank God twice. As Sa'di rahmatullah alayh says, منت خدای را عز و جل که طاعتش موجب قربت است و به شکرندرش وزید نعمت. هر نفس چو فرو رود ممد حیات است و چون براید مفرح ذات. Have you thought about the breathing? If the breathing was not there, what you were going to do? So we need to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for every breath which is coming in and out. That is why in Quran it's written, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصَى. If you are trying to count the mercies of Allah which is bestowed upon you, it will be impossible. Let us thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all of unknown mercies that He has bestowed upon us. Have you thought about this before? Think about it more.